And we are back, so now we can continue, hopefully undisturbed, and without any further interruptions from Skype and things like that. Wasn't really anyone specifically mentioning talking to me, it was just kind of like a group message, if you know what that is. If you don't,
didn't I kick your ass 2 rooms back?
then you should probably remember that I kicked that guy's ass 2 rooms back, according to Sam. Although a strange thing that Sam doesn't really say that for any other enemies of the game. Okay, so I'm gonna actually be a tiny bit careful right here. Because the last time I was in this area, I actually ended up breaking this particular section. And thankfully it hasn't broken yet, so I think we should be fine. But I was actually recording this level the other day, and basically what happened was I got to this section, and that crusher area that you're about to see didn't work. Like, I'm serious, it did not work at all for some odd reason or another. And I had to basically no-clip through the entire area, and it was just a mess. So, I'd rather not be doing that. And we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the secret, which is Secret Mental's room. Now, the way this room works is that you have to spell out the word mental, and that over there is a door that will open and you can get a health power-up. If you jump on one of the non-glowy areas, then that spike pit will just lower a little bit, and if it lowers too much, as in if you jump on the non-glowy areas just a bit too much, then you'll probably get impaled, and that's not exactly good, because it's an insta-kill. But yeah, if you jump on one of the non-glowy areas as well, all the glowing letters will go off, but you can still spell the word mental without the spike pit lowering, or the spike trap lowering, and yeah, you can still get this health power up. And that's all that needs to be explained for this area, so now we can move on with this area, which is a crusher, and I'm actually going to quick save because I'm really scared about dying right here, even though I've done this section a million times. Better to be safe than apologetic, as I like to say. So that way I don't have to be apologetic to my viewers and wasting their time by getting crushed by silly things. But yeah, I'm not really sure what caused this area to malfunction the last time, but it was kind of funny. I had to no-clip through the area, but I don't plan on having that happen again. That was a lava golem. They're kind of interesting enemies, but they become a bit more fearsome when they appear in larger size. Otherwise, they're just kind of, nah, just stay away from them and you should be fine.
Double your gun, double your fun.
And here we have our double shotgun and our second power-up, which is invincibility. Now, I'm actually going to be switching to the flamethrower right here.
Come on, just try to hurt me now.
Because rather than just send you, like, single enemies at a time, say a clear skeleton for instance, it sends multiple enemies, so making good use of the flamethrower right here is probably what may be in your best interests. And I'll probably just demonstrate the double shotgun for a bit now that I've burned a sufficient amount of enemies. Because the double shotgun is probably one of the better weapons for dealing with clear skeletons. You just have to make sure that you hit direct shots, and you should be fine. And Sam said, damn, because the power-up ended. And, okay, you are weakened. So are you. And you. However, you need to take a full blast to the face with this beautiful double shotgun. Definitely one of my favorite weapons. And watch out because there's a guy right here, who once he dies will sink into the floor halfway. Because his dying animation is kind of restricted to flat surfaces, otherwise he'll just sink through the floor, and that looks kind of silly. What do you have to say, Natrixa? Crusher! Yet another classic mine trap, this time with a crusher theme. The purpose of the crusher is to crush you. Very simple, but with a serious purpose. However, when it comes to seriousness, nothing can beat you. So I noticed some holes in the crusher. Try to hide beneath them and proceed to the door on the other side of the room, or we will be crushed. Seriously. P.S. I saw 2 switches on the side walls. I wonder what they are for. So if you put 2 and 2 together, you could probably figure out that hitting these switches is actually kind of mandatory, as it will open the door on the other side. So you probably want to do that. We're just going to wait for this crusher to do its little thing. I believe if you play this in multiplayer, you can actually stop the Crusher from crushing you if you are invincible. Like, if you don't pick up the power-up immediately and you let someone else do it, then I think that should actually allow you to stop the Crusher from crushing people. It's kind of cool. But that is not what we are dealing with right now. We are dealing with headless people. Stop that. And the double shotgun still works fairly effectively against Nars, which is kind of nice. For this next particular section right here, you definitely want to prioritize the kamikazes first, as the Nars just basically serve as cannon fodder. Boom. Boom. That never gets old. If you want to turn the corner right here, there's an arachnoid out there, which you should probably deal with hastily. And I'm also going to use the sniper rifle a bit more, because there happens to be a pumpkin head on the other side of this door. Now, ammunition for the sniper rifle, this is kind of important to point out, is not exactly that plentiful, so, because it's definitely one of the most powerful weapons of the game. Probably one of the best. So, remember to use it wisely. Now, this is where the flamethrower gets fun, because you only see one of these enemies in this entire level, but if I just spray them like once, we get to see this. That never gets old. Okay, now. And here's actually a good place to demonstrate the sort of weaker power to the rifle. So, you can see that there's an arachnoid out there. If I just shoot it like this, that did virtually no damage. In fact, I think it actually missed. It does very pitiful damage, but if I zoom in, it kills it instantly. So there you have the sniper rifle's power. So now, we can take a look at this beautiful valley. And I can't check to see what Natrixa has to say right here, unfortunately. Because I know she will have a message for me in a moment. Picking up in serious mode, I believe, spawns a clear skeleton, so you might want to be careful. Now, I have a choice of walking up this way across the bridge and things like that, so that way we can get to the other side, or we have a pit that leads to death. I'm gonna jump down the pit.
Much better.
Because there happens to be a secret rocket launcher down here. That makes me happy! And if you jump over here, then this actually leads you to the other side of the bridge. However, we're going to do things a little bit normally, so I'm going to go ahead and slide my way down here and take 1 armor damage. Oh, Natrix has something to say to me. The right way! Excellent job, Sam. We are on the right track. Follow that path and we should soon find the entrance to the Valley of the Jaguar. And there's a bomber out there. Just wanted to do that. I know it was a bit of a waste of ammunition, but at the same time, I sort of have an idea of what it is I'm doing. And I know what it is I'm doing because there's a green guy out there. In the HD remake for Serious Sam HD, these green guys are a lot more difficult to see because there's a lot more foliage out that way. In fact, I think there's actually a bunch of trees out there. Like, you can see, because the world hasn't rendered from this distance, excuse me, I'm trying to explain something. But the world hasn't quite rendered at this distance, but if I zoom in, oh look, there are trees. That's the serious engine for you, but, it's not really worth complaining about that much, just kind of an interesting detail if you think about it. Not only do the trees kind of block your vision, but the reptiloids also only take 2 sniper rifle bullets and then they'll die. Which is kind of neat. What? Huh. I've never noticed that hole up there before. I know that there's a secret involving a hole that's actually like way over there, but I have never seen that hole before. I have no idea why. In fact, you know what? I think I'm actually going to investigate that after I complete this level, so I'm going to listen to Sam whistling. I'm going to put a quick save right here so that way I can remind myself to investigate that hole in post-commentary, because that might actually be something interesting. I have never noticed that before. That is very cool. Okay, let's just move on with the level.
Rocket Ranger, ready to rock it.
And be ready to rock it. And already there's a green guy out there, so I'm going to try and shoot rockets at his face. And one important thing you might have noticed about the sniper rifle is that it can't really see enemies that well if you zoom in. So I'm gonna wait for this bowl to stop doing silly things to me. But yeah, if you look at this guy, you can see he's in my crosshair, but if you zoom in, then the little health bar meter color thingy disappears. Yes, that's what I'm calling it. The health meter bar color thingy. Very accurate description. I'm sure you probably noticed though, I just remembered there was something I kind of forgot to mention earlier, so you kind of have to pick and choose how much health your target actually has. Also, another thing that happened when I was initially recording this part of the level is that there were actually a couple delayed enemy spawns. I'm not entirely sure what happened here, but like, a kamikaze failed to spawn, and then killing that kamikaze actually spawned lava golems. Yeah, like right here you can see the lava golems did spawn properly, but they didn't the last time for some really odd reason. Not really sure why that is. But I'm going to ignore them because there is a secret right here. A secret cave, to be precise. And jumping into this cave, you'll find a pool. If we swim through this pool, we can get to that secret bridge that I was talking about a couple minutes ago. Which is kind of important because it contains a very, very, very good secret. Well, it's not a very, very, very good secret in my case because I have plenty of health, but it is a health power-up nonetheless. And it's worth going over because there's also sniper rifle ammo there. Which is kind of nice. It could definitely use a bit more sniper rifle ammo because it is kind of scarce. Although not quite as scarce as it is in Serious Sam 3, which we shall get to later. And it is in fact the next game I will be playing after the second encounter because a guy named Disco Duck gifted me that beautiful game. We kinda did a little gift exchange. I got him a game, Fallout Vegas, and he got me Serious Sam 3, and we both made each other happy. So yeah. Wink. Wink. If that doesn't kill you, rather than sail right past you, I'm just going to shoot another rocket at you. And that will deal with our current predicament of the situation. Wink. Oh yeah, if that guy shoots at you, then he shoots one rocket directly at you, and one sort of off in a completely different direction. So you kind of want to be careful around those guys, and make sure you don't stand directly in front of them when they're shooting at you. Otherwise, that's kind of bad. And this is the way of which we have to go. Oh, I believe walking forward will spawn a couple of harpies. Yes. A couple of birds. Shoot the birds out of the air, and we get another message. This giant totem looks like an entrance to some sort of cave. Battle your way there. Well, it doesn't seem like too much of a fight. I mean, we've got this guy over here who's not really doing a good job. I mean, he just died, so that could be a potential problem. If we take a swim, we will see that there are fish. So you definitely want to kill those fish immediately. And go after this odd glowy area down here, which happens to be another secret. In the HD remake of Serious Sam, it's actually a bit more well hidden. Like, the way I explain it, if you dive into this pool, like, you can barely see all the way down to the bottom of the lake. Just like, your vision is sort of impaired by the water, which is a neat little effect. If you swim down far enough, you'll be able to eventually get it, if you remember it being there. But this being the classic version, as you can plainly see, we have no difficulty spotting it. I'm gonna see if I can actually, if that little swimming trick still works. Yes, the swimming trick still very much works in the second encounter, which I demonstrated in the first game, is that if you hold duck and if you surface, then the game will still think you're swimming and you can swim on land, and it's kinda neat. Although it makes our vision all wibbly wobbly and therefore we can't properly aim, so I'm just going to jump out and cancel out of that odd vision. And here we are towards the end of the level. Now, the last time I was playing this level, I got to this area, and then Steam decided it was a good time to give me a notification that would cause my game to crash. Although, technically I have Steam notifications off right now, so I don't need to worry about that sort of thing happening, thankfully. And that was Sierra de Chiapas, a nice beginning level to the second encounter. And we happened to get all the secrets in this game, except for one! Oh no! You want to know why I couldn't get that secret? It's because that secret is apparently impossible to get. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm sure you could look it up, but there is apparently an impossible secret hidden somewhere inside the intro of this game, I believe. And yeah, there's just no way of getting it, no matter how hard you try. So you'll just have to face the fact that you are going to miss that secret. So here we can look at all our familiar weapons. We have the rocket launcher. Here's the chainsaw. You can pause and read these if you like. The shotgun, the sniper rifle, the flamethrower, and the double shotgun. And there are a lot of enemies to cover. So we have the fish, a Zorg, which is a new enemy, the lava golem, you all remember these guys. They have fire effects on them now. Ooh. The arachnoids, rocketeers, Zumb'uls, Witch-Harpies, arachnoids adults, Aludran reptiloids, Cucurbino the pumpkin, Syrian wearable, the clear skeleton, scroll up, and actually exit the level without meaning to. Valley of the Jaguar. The temple we just entered is the temple of Tequocatalian, or something like that, Mayan god of courage. Built deep in the bowels of the earth, full of traps and puzzles, this temple served as a training ground for the Mayan army. If they could pass these tests, they shouldn't have these problems. I can also feel a very strong magical presence in the air in front of us. We should explore. The exit at the other end of the temple should lead us straight to the Valley of the Jaguar. Now, after being rudely interrupted, we can see there's a bomber, a kamikaze, a firecracker, and a Nar female. So yeah, the next time we play, we shall go through the treacherous Valley of the Jaguar and face the tests that the Mayan army themselves faced. So until then, thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Oh my god, what is going on? Oh, look, it's the secret hole I was talking about earlier. So, I'm in fly mode right now, and fly mode in this game is a little bit trippy, as I'd like to put it. But here's the hole that I was referring to earlier that I said I never noticed before. And unfortunately, as it turns out, there's like nothing in it. It's just a hole. But yeah, I thought that was worth covering at the end of the level. Yeah, end recording.